Hello, everyone. This is Tom Nook. It's 11:08 a.m. this happy Sunday, June 9th, 2024. Now for today's news. My staff, Timmy and Tommy, opened up their new shop today. It's a small shop, but they'll change stock daily and carry a selection of goods sure to better your island life. Come by from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily, and if the store is closed, simply use their drop-off box to sell your items. One more thing. To celebrate the opening of the shop, we've added a new catalog service to Nook Shopping. The catalog lets customers see a record of items they've obtained or purchased. Any mass-market items can be ordered directly through the catalog, so make good use of it. Now then, with all that said, I hope everyone takes advantage of the new Nook's Cranny. By the way, we'll be holding a special commemorative ceremony soon, as usual. Stop by Resident Services if you'd like to participate. Oh dear, never fails. Of course, this would happen right in the middle of a broadcast. One moment, please. Hello? This is Tom Nook from Nook Incorporated. The getaway package? Why, yes, of course! And that's all for today's Island-wide broadcast. So sorry to put you on hold. Allow me to give you a full overview of I want to talk about what is up, my Squirtleites? It is I, your king, welcoming you back to more Let's Play Animal Crossing and New Horizons. In the last episode, we got to see our brand newly opened, newly furnished museum, and we donated a whole bunch of stuff there, which is pretty great. We also got to see our very first look at a Nook Miles Island, which we used a ticket to get to, and actually found ourselves coming face-to-face with a brand new type of villager, an octopus villager named Marina, who is supposed to actually be moving into this very island. But we're going to have to see how that turns out. I wonder if that is who was on the phone with Tom Nook there, but... Okay, first things first, we're going to take a look at our Happy Home Academy. We've got a rank B right off the bat, which actually gets us a reward from Happy Home Academy, so we'll have to take a look at that. But then we also have a letter from a Daisy May. Dear Moreau folks, I'll be heading to your island every Sunday morning to sell my precious turnips just the way my grandma used to. Be seeing you, Daisy May. Well, we'll have to take a look at that and see what we can figure out, because something about turnips and whatnot does sound a little bit exciting. Okay, first things first, there is actually a new bug type right here. I'm going to immediately try to catch that. That is a tiger beetle. If you try to run at them, they will just scurry away and instantly disappear. Worth a little over 1,000 bells, I do believe, so worth going after. But there is our brand new shop, and we'll take a look at it in just a second as we go over all sorts of other various things around here. We're also going to go have to see what that phone call is about. Okay, this little lady right here. So, between episodes, I said I went after and... basically gathered a whole bunch of materials, which was incredibly important, and got myself actually some bells in the process. I got 35,800 bells. You can also see I have a clownfish here. Got a couple of other things as well. Mostly just got wood and things of that nature while moving around the island. And I actually ended up cleaning all of the possible weeds, as you can see over there. There's no more weeds on any of the first level sections of the island. It's only there's only still weeds in the areas we cannot currently access, which we need a ladder to get to. So with these 35,000 bells, I am actually going to be spending quite a lot of them. And you might be going, well, what the heck? What about your loan? Don't you worry, there is a means to an end here. I should also mention, hey, look at this. Different tools. We got a stone axe. We got a regular fishing rod. We got a net. Well, slingshot's the same. But we also got ourselves an iron shovel and whatnot. These are all much upgraded versions of the tools that we had previously. They are the next step beyond the flimsy tools. And the nice thing about these is that these are, well, one, they obviously last for much longer. But two, there is another thing about these tools that's really nice in that their health can be refreshed. Now, we do not have access to this just yet, but we will in due time, or at least we'll be able to talk about it in due time. But these tools are going to obviously last us a whole lot longer, which is really, really awesome. The stone axe is the only thing that cannot be perpetually refreshed, but everything else should be able to. The vaulting pole obviously doesn't need to be, and the slingshot is, well, just the slingshot. There is no real upgrade to the slingshot, so I wouldn't worry about that one too much. Let's put that away for now, though, and let's talk to this little gal right here. Hello there, I'm Daisy May. Do you know my Gram Joan? She seems to know an awful lot of folks, so I always ask. Anyway, she said I'm old enough now to help out with the family business, so here I am. Oh, I forgot to tell you what the family business is. It's selling turnips. Have you ever heard of Sal Jones Stock Market? Well, I'll be here every Sunday morning with a fresh crop of turnips, so come say hi anytime. Fooey Daisy May, you forgot the sales pitch. Gram's told me enough times I don't remember how this goes by now. So, do you want to hear about how Sal Jones Stock Market works? I'll let you give me the rundown, but then I'll go into a little bit more detail. Okay, you can do this. So, turnips are a cute little root vegetable that are good for pickling or stewing. Graham always says that the stock market turnips are for selling, not eating. I always forget. Anyway, if you time things right, they can be mighty nutritious for your bank account. Should I keep going with the explanation? Keep going. Okay, now let's see then. Oh yeah, the whole point of buying our turnips is so that you can turn around and sell them at a profit. Graham always says something about him turning up a profit. I don't exactly get it. Anyway, you know Timmy, right? He's always in the market for buying when it comes time for you to be selling. Should I keep going? Let's keep going. Okay, this is a real important part, so I'm going to try my best to explain carefully. You don't want to buy these turnips and keep them for too long. They'll rot after 1 week. So if you buy some from me on a Sunday, you got to remember to sell them before the next Sunday. Graham always says there's nothing worse than a tent full of rotten turnips, but it ain't true. Losing all those hard-earned bells you spent on them is worse. Okay, that's the whole speech. So right now, turnips are going for 96 bells. Do you want to buy some? I absolutely do. So she sells these in bundles of 10, which is important. I am just going to straight up buy the max, which is 370 turnips. Now, that's not a crazy amount of turnips, but it is still it's a fair amount nonetheless. So let's just confirm. 370 turnips comes to 35,520 bells. Does that sound okay to you? Yeah, I'll buy them. Thank you kindly. And there we go. We're going to get a bunch of it for pretty much all of our money, but I am okay with this for the time being. Turnip, watch them rise, try to earn a nice surprise. All right, let's go into more detail on the stock market and how this entire situation works. So, when you buy them, what the buying price for them, and also what your previous quote-unquote pattern for the stock market was on the previous week, all determine what pattern you're going to get on a given week. Now, you might be going, what do you mean by pattern? Turnips follow a specific price pattern that whether they go up or down, all depends on what pattern you actually get on a given week. There are 4 different types of patterns. There is the fluctuating pattern, the decreasing pattern, the small spike pattern, and the large spike pattern. It is much harder to get pattern type 2 weeks in a row. So like if, for instance, I got a decreasing pattern last week, it's not guaranteed I won't get it the next week, but it is a much lower chance. You have a pretty much 1 in 4 odds of getting each pattern type, but that decreases down to 10% for one that you've gotten the previous week. The way that this works is a fluctuating pattern will generally go low, high, and all around your initial buy price at a complete random. So this is probably the hardest pattern type to track because you never know when it's going to go up or when it's going to go down, but you're never going to get typically huge gains out of this. So the way the fluctuating pattern works is that as soon as you detect it, you're going to want to instantly sell as soon as you go high because you're not really going to get a better price than that. The decreasing pattern really sucks because you can never tell when you've hit it until it's too late because it often mimics the same pattern as the small spike and the large spike. Decreasing pattern is literally going to go down by 5 bells from your initial purchase price every single time the prices change. So this will go down to from, like, let's say what we just bought, it'll go from 96 to 91 to 86 to 81 and so on and so forth. And there is no way to know that it is a decreasing pattern for sure until the very end of the week. But this is why you hold, as people who work in the stock market would say. You hold on to that and you hope that it eventually bears fruit because eventually, if you have a small or a large spike pattern, you will suddenly see the price go up. With a small spike pattern, this will go up in a small increment first, a couple of times before it finally ends up at your highest possible amount. Now, a small spike is generally never more than double of what your initial purchase price was for. It can go a little beyond that, but for the most part, you shouldn't expect to gain more than about 2 times what you initially put in on stock markets. Or on the stock market, excuse me. The large spike is a bit of a different story. This one is one that is usually going to make you wait it out for a while, but once it spikes big. Now, how big this spike is generally dependent on what your buy price is at. Now, the buy price can be, I believe, as low as 90 bells, but as high as 110 bells. If you buy closer to 90 bells, that huge spike is going to be nice. It'll still be pretty big, but it's not going to be more than, like, let's say, triple, possibly quadruple what your original buy-in price. But if your buy price is all the way up at 110, this can go all the way up to quintuple or even sextuple your initial buy-in price. So generally, banking on the large spike is not the easiest thing to do because the odds are not always in your favor. Now, you might be going, how do these patterns work exactly? Well, you cannot sell turnips on Sunday. So once you buy your turnips, you are locked in for the remainder of the week, and you will start checking your prices Monday morning. Prices will change over once each day. You will have an initial price when the store opens at 8 a.m., and this price is going to then change to the next price at 12 p.m. That price will then remain for the rest of the day and will change over up with the start of the next day. So this changes 6 days, each week, 12 times total per week. Once the next Sunday hits, your turnips go rotten, and there's nothing more you can do with them. If you want to, one other nice thing about turnips is you can actually eat these in bunches of 10, which is actually a very cost-effective way of doing so because technically turnips are a little bit cheaper than the fruit that you pluck off of trees. So if you are in the mood for doing a lot of terraforming, moving a lot of trees around, they can also be used for that. But generally, you want to sell your turnips. You want to wait it out. But that means we're going to have to hold on to these turnips for an extra day and see what they eventually turn out to bear fruit. Now, I will say, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a spoiler, but the very first time you buy turnips, your pattern is guaranteed. You're not going to get decreasing. You're not going to get fluctuating. But you're also not going to get the large spike. You are stuck with the small spike, which is your way of seeing how you're actually going to get something out of this. Now, because the game knows you won't really have a whole lot of bells the first time around, this is why you're pretty much only going to get double of what you put into it. But still, a small spike is guaranteed, which means that we should be able to turn a profit on these so long as I pay attention to the price as it goes up. Now, the good news is you cannot get the highest possible price until at least Tuesday afternoon. There is no way that you will get that earlier unless you are on the decreasing pattern. So generally, I don't even check until that day, and then from then on, I just kind of follow the trend, and it's pretty easy to gauge where the trend is going. If it's gone down like 20 bells, for instance, you know it's either decreasing, small spike, or large spike. If it hasn't, then it's fluctuating no matter what. Again, all telltale signs, because it's always going to decrease in increments of 5 before it spikes or it doesn't spike, if that makes sense. I hope that was a pretty succinct explanation of how this all works. But for the most part, all we really have are these 370 turnips. It's not a lot in future. At future points in the game, I would like to be able to get entire pockets full and then some of turnips. But for right now, this is enough to get us by, and hopefully we will get a good amount of bells out of it in the future. Maybe enough to even pay off of our loan. All right. Let's take a look at Nook's Cranny now that we have gotten all of that out of the way. We'll talk about the two things outside afterwards, but we need to say hello to Timmy and Tommy first. Actually, it might just be Timmy. No, it is both of them. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Hello there. I was worried when I heard you were all moving to a deserted island, but this is much nicer than I imagined. It's so nice. Even though we haven't been here all that long, and it's just a short time, Blathers has moved in, and we were able to open up the shop. Experiencing new things every day has been a lot of fun. I'm so pleased to hear that. Actually, I came here today to check in on you all and see if you need any assistance with anything. It's our way of celebrating your new shop. You know, we sisters like to help wherever we can. Any island ideas come to mind? You're too kind, Mabel. We're just overwhelmed that you even thought to come visit us. Oh, hey, I think... Something come to mind? Well, we still have some logistical challenges to overcome. We depend on mail orders for a lot of our goods. Having this shop could make it a bit easier for us to obtain ready-made furniture and stuff like that. But we still need a clothing supplier. Aha! Something tells me that today is your lucky day. As it turns out, it's really not that difficult for us to get to this island. How about if I stop by every so often to sell some of your wares to our wonderful island dwellers? Oh, wow, do you really mean that? Our residents will be so overjoyed. Of course, silly. If we can sell our goods here, it's a win-win situation for everyone. So as with that settled, I should head home and work out the details with my sister. Yes, please do that. We can't wait to see you here again. Well, farewell, lady. Okay. Clothing then, huh? Oh, Levi, sorry to keep you waiting. Thanks to your help, we've opened this amazing new shop. Our shop is named in honor of a shop our beloved President Nook used to run. Welcome to Nook's Cranny. As you can see, we're offering ready-made furniture and items that can't be made as DIY projects. Also in the back cabinet with the tools and other miscellaneous goods, we have wallpaper and flooring. We help to fulfill all your shopping needs. Well, why don't we have a look around really quickly? So, unfortunately, the only two furniture items they have on sale are ones I literally already have that I got randomly. I believe I got this from a balloon and this from a tree, so that's kind of funny. We do have some miscellaneous items here. If I wanted to get myself a cute radio, I could. I can also get myself a mug of hot cocoa and or coffee, but I want to take a look in here really quickly. Curious about what's in the cabinet? Here's what we have today. Okay, so Nook's Cranny, as you can see, we have some additional things. So now we can actually get parasols. They also sell different types of wetsuits that will change every single day. You also got party poppers and tweeters and things that you can go play around in the island with. We also can buy different Flowers here as well. We got tulips, roses, and cosmos. So I'm definitely going to have to buy some of those to beautify our island a little more. Got wrapping paper for sending out gifts to people, as well as a test your DIY skills set. Now, that is the first thing that I'm going to want to get my hands on whenever possible. This is going to add more to our options, and we're going to definitely want to use that. You also see that we got a pitfall seed recipe. We'll talk about that a little bit later, and then we have oranges. But now we can move on over to the wallpaper and flooring items. So concrete flooring, rattan, camo, and blue floral. Not really a big fan of the floorings. We got a white hallway wall, blue quilt wall, soothing tea room wall, and a pink simple cloth wall. I want to get a couple of these just so we can spruce up our house a little bit. But for right now, I think I'll leave all that be. Be here if you need anything else. So this is where we can buy, and this is where we can sell. There's a whole lot of things that we can do now that we have Nook's Cranny available to us, but obviously now they carry more products. We can actually get ourselves some nice furniture items and not just get the miscellaneous items like what was available to us before. But what's more, there's also this. Today's hot item, inquire inside, a wooden table mirror. Okay, let's talk about hot items for a minute. Hot items are always something that you can make with DIY recipes. Now, we've gotten the wooden table mirror in the past, but if we go into our workbench, we can take a look at this thing really quickly. Hot items are pretty simple. They sell for double their original value. So this thing right here, which uses an iron nugget and wood, I can sell at double its value. Now, actually, anything that uses iron nuggets generally sells for quite a bit. So I actually could make a handful of these and maybe sell those to get some money so I can buy that Test Your DIY Skills kit. And I will do that soon after I accidentally fat finger the camera app. Let's go in and grab something here. We got miles for stockholders for buying my first set of turnips. I will do that. You notice I have a lot more Nook Miles today than I had yesterday. I gathered a few just by finishing out a lot of my Nook Miles Plus stuff that I had, as well as just turning in some ones I forgot to turn in at the end of the last episode. So that is why that is that way. Let's head on in here and talk to Tom Nook and see what else he has for us now that the shop has been built. Still on the phone, are you? Yes, of course. Don't worry about a thing. We can set up your getaway package to include a lovely furnished home. Oh, not at all. We'll set up your move-in date at a later time. No trouble at all. I just need to drop the proper contracts. Understood. We will get back to you very soon. Thank you. I also love that he has a mini golf thing in here now that Timmy's gone. Levi, sorry to keep you waiting. I suppose you overheard that call I just got. For some time now, I've been advertising the Moreau Getaway Package. And wouldn't you know, out of the blue, we have 3 interested parties. That's awesome. Yes, it's quite wonderful. Thank you. Wonderful except for one minor little detail. None of our applicants are too fond of the notion of sleeping in tents, you see. I'm afraid I got caught up in the excitement of persuading them to move here, and I may have promised them fully furnished homes. 3 homes, setting aside the land, preparing all the furnishings. It's just too much for one raccoon. I mean, I can help if you would like. Is that your idea? But Levi, here you are in my hour of need. It most certainly must be fate. Would you help me get these homes prepared, all 3 of them? Of course, I will have to give you a good and proper thank you for your assistance. Of course, I should have said as if I had a choice. I love that option. Thank you so much. I'll never forget this. Oh, you're going to need some top secret instructions. When you're ready, come talk to me. Use the phrase, what should I do? Agent Nook out. Oh, this is fun. Well, let's do it. I'll just do the what should I do then. So you're already ready to help me prepare. Here's what I'm thinking. We really should start by building a bridge across a river somewhere. With 3 homes to build, I worry that we'll run out of space on land that is easily accessible. A bridge will open up things up a bit and make it easier to get to housing plots during construction. So that's why I'd like you to start by crafting the parts for a bridge base. Get your DIY skills ready. And then you'll want to decide on a prime location for the bridge, too. All right, well, tell me how we're going to do this then, Mr. Nook. And done. I've just sent you a recipe for a bridge construction kit. You can find it on your Nook phone. Once you've assembled your bridge construction kit, find a good spot for a bridge and then check in with me. It can be a little tricky to place a bridge, but we can talk if you need some trouble or have some trouble or need some advice. All right, let's get this done. But before I do that, let's take a look at our ABD really quickly so we can get our bonus Nook Miles. We're up to 200 now. There we go. And I do believe it maxed out at 7, so that is something to keep in mind. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so I don't really want to mess with any of these things too much. I think I'm just going to kind of leave all that as is. The main reason I wanted to do that was just to get our free Nook Miles, but also we can take a look at our new catalog service really quickly. So now you'll see that there are multiple options. To start, we have the furniture, fashion items, and wallpaper and flooring that we've obtained. This is our catalog, quote unquote. We can look at anything that we already have. Anything that is a DIY item is not for sale. You have to recraft that yourself, but everything else can just be bought on demand. So yeah, all that is pretty nice, including seasonal items. Fossils, also not for sale, but you see we can also get our hands on certain tools and whatnot. Anything that can already be bought in the shop is really the main thing that you're going to actually be able to spend money on. Now, the original furniture items, or the original special goods that we could get, are now in its own little section. So we can see here, got marine song, leaf print wetsuit, which actually I really like the leaf print wetsuit. It's one of my favorites. We got some water shoes. We got some teas. We got some oval glasses, straw hats. All this stuff has been moved into this section. We still have the promotional items, and we still have the seasonal stuff, which these are going to go out, I believe, tomorrow, which is why they are in the red. Everything else is in the orange, so we got plenty of time to redeem these. I will definitely do my best to get all these before they go away. Okay, so that is the catalog, all updated and even better than before. Let's go work on that bridge construction kit, because given that is pretty much the main thing we're going to want to do today. So let's go take a look at our DIY recipes really quickly and see what we got. Okay, so everything. Here we go. Log stakes, clay, and stone. Now, log stakes are something that we can already make on our own. I know we have the clay and the stone for this, but how are we going to make log stakes? We need wood. In fact, we need precisely 12 wood. Now, I do believe I have more than enough for this at the moment, but I think it would probably be a good idea to try to gather even a little bit more. Let's actually go and take stock of exactly how much I have at the moment, just before I do anything too rash. I mean, if I can build it outright, I can build it outright, but I definitely did not gather enough wood yesterday to set me forever. Okay, I do have enough here, though, so what we say? We said 12 wood. All right, we'll just take that then, and then we'll take the clay and our smaller amount of stones, please, and then we'll go and craft our log stakes. It would be nice to get a DIY kit inside my house as well, but I don't like the log-looking one, given that it is definitely meant to be outdoors. It is not. There are other workbenches that you could get later that are more indoor appropriate. Granted, getting them reliably is not the easiest thing in the world, but hey. All right, so let's see here. Log stakes. Let's craft... Yep, as many of these as we can. Unfortunately, you can only craft one by one. I wish you could craft multiples at a time, but they decided that was not a thing you needed. The only thing you need is the faster crafting animation, I guess. I don't necessarily agree, but whatever. Let's keep crafting, and we'll get this done, and then we will talk about bridge placements, because bridge placing in this game is actually a little bit of a tricky endeavor, and we're going to really want to make it count, given how many diverging paths we have on this island. So there we go. Made some log stakes. All right, let's keep crafting, and let's make that bridge construction kit now that we have everything we need. And here we go. Beautiful. Made a bridge construction kit. All right, we are done for now. So let's take this. And yes, I know we built another thing. That's fine. Okay, bridge construction is actually pretty simple. Any single time you see a completely... anything there where you got completely parallel lines is where you're going to be able to build a bridge. Now, you do need specific gaps. Almost everything on the river here is more than adequate enough, but you need to watch out for various things. Like, for instance, we would not be able to build one right here because, again, those lines aren't parallel. You can see it doesn't really fit the whole way. You need, I believe, 4 squares that are completely parallel to one another to make a bridge work. You can either put them at an angle, diagonally, exactly 45 degrees, or straight across, either straight to the right and left or straight up and down. That is pretty much it. You're kind of limited with what you can do with bridges, and placement is incredibly important. Now, if we take a look at our map here really quickly, we've kind of got 4 sections that are all cut off by the river. Now, this section right here is actually the biggest one, the one across from me over that way. But then we also have this, which reaches off towards where the pier is at. So it's a little bit tricky deciding which one we're going to go with. I'm personally liking this one the most, and we can hit build here. It says, should I reserve this spot for a log bridge? This is the spot. Let's do it. Beautiful. Okay. Picked a spot for a bridge. Let the land connect. I could have previewed that, but I decided not to. I don't know why I decided not to, but we'll get to see it in due time. So let's go on and talk to Tom Nook once again and see what he has to say now that our spot is picked. And unfortunately, that is the only time you'll be able to make a bridge that way. To make future bridges, it's a little bit more complicated. Ah, Levi. Hello, hello. So, did you find a good place to deploy your bridge construction kit? I sure did. Splendid. Excellent work. Thank you. Then tomorrow we'll have a new bridge up, and it'll be even easier to get around the island. Now that that's out of the way, it's time to start on some homes. We can wait for bridge construction to finish, or just ask me what should I do. I think I will do that right off the bat. So let's do it. Bridge won't be ready till tomorrow, but you want to start on the homes now? Please take these 3 housing kits. I can do that. With the housing kits I just gave you, you'll pick out plots for 3 homes. Then, of course, these homes will need furniture and such. Each housing kit comes with a list of the furniture required for its house. Be sure to read those lists. You can build everything DIY style, so just let me just send you the recipes you'll need. Sure. So this is going to add a few more to our list. I will happily take that. I think that's all for me. Thanks for all your help. Okay, so we got more work to do. And plenty of time to do it, thankfully. So let's see what we're going to do about these houses. I'm assuming one of these is going to be Marina, if I'm remembering correctly, right? So we got plot 1, plot 2, and plot 3. Okay, so first things first. As far as our immediate vicinity goes, I think we can place one more house around here somewhere. And by that, I'm probably going to actually place it about right here towards the edge of the shore. I just want to make sure that I don't get rid of that stone there. Or that tree that's growing. That's a little too close. Let's go a little further down and try it like right here. How's that going to do? Let's imagine it just to make sure. If it gets rid of this tree on my left, I'm okay. But the rest of them, I'd rather it didn't. Yep, that's perfect. This is a good spot. It is. Let's do it. Okay, there's one. And I think I will put the other 2 on the other side of the river. Maybe I'll put one by Rory. Uh-oh, phone's ringing. What do you mean? Hello? That you, Levi? Yes, this is Tom Nook. How goes your search for housing land? I got some ideas. Stupendous. I'm relieved to hear that everything is going according to plan. Be sure to check the box in front of the plot for each home. It'll show the items required for that plot. Interior items should be placed in the box, while exterior items should be placed outside around the plot. We want to make it look nice and decorative now. Once you set up the plot for all 3 homes and place the required items, come report back to me. All right, we definitely have work to do. So we'll get back to that one here in a moment. Let's continue going on over this way. Maybe we can place one more on this side. I don't want to isolate the person that's across the river, though. But I also don't want to make Rory completely on his own either. We could go like a right about here. Not necessarily totally adjacent, but maybe in about this spot. Let's take a look at this one. Yeah, see, okay, that's covering the orange tree there. But again, I don't want to go too close. Let's go across the bridge here really quickly and see what we got over this way. So I'm going to vault my way on over. Excuse me, fishy. Sorry. Oh, I'm surprised I didn't actually spook it. So we have multiple spots we could go with. Probably one further down this way would be ideal. Yeah, you know what? I actually think that would be a good idea. Let's try to put plot 3 over here. We'll get rid of this orange tree. Little too close to the ledge, so I think I'll make my way over more about here. Is this too close to the cliff? It's going to let me go with that? Okay. I would like to give myself a little bit of space behind the house for the cliff. So let's do, yeah, that's a little bit better. This is the spot. All right, we're going to get rid of a couple more trees in the process. That is okay. We'll be doing a lot more tree planting later and more tree relocation in due time. Now for the final plot, and I think we'll put it up here close to the river. Let's see if we can cram this in right here between the river and the cliff. Not quite there. Maybe just a little further over. Let's see. Nope, that's got the cliff in the way. Ooh, I don't know if this is going to work. I'm going to keep finagling with it until I get it to land. There we go. That actually works perfectly. This is the spot. Okay, I am okay with that spot. That'll do. All right, and now it is time to check these drop boxes. But hold on, we got another phone call. Levi, it's me again. Sorry for repeated calls. I forgot to tell you something important. You see, you'll need to get a wreath made from flowers. There are plenty of pretty flowers growing up on the cliffs of the island, so tootle up there if you need to. I've already sent you a recipe for a ladder. It's the ideal tool for when you need to scale those cliffs. Anywho, keep up the good work, hey? Okay, so we actually have that added to our DIY recipes. So let's take a look at that. The ladder requires wood, hardwood, and softwood, which are all things that I'm going to need to make sure that I go grab. But hold on, we got a whole lot more. Log garden lounge, stool, wooden simple bed, chair, block table, block stereo. We got some natural garden stuff, a swinging bench. Look at all these additional things. This is actually quite a freaking lot. Okay, so I'm going to need to take stock of absolutely everything that I can build here with all of the available items, because everything you see here that has a big bright new on it is going to be necessary for what we're about to do. So I'm actually just going to write down all of, this is actually a nice time to get out some notes and take stock of everything that I'll need. So give me just a second. Okay, I have taken stock of all of the items and all the materials we're going to need, which is actually a little bit more than we already have access to, but it's not too much more, as a matter of fact. The main thing I'm going to need to get is regular wood. So we need 44 wood, 30 softwood, 35 hardwood, 20 oranges, so I'll have to gather all those, 11 iron nuggets, 15 clay, 6 stones, and then 3 of each of the different colors of cosmos that we have sitting up on top of the cliff, excuse me. This includes the cost that we're going to need for our ladder. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to my storage and immediately gather everything that we have, and we're going to start taking stock of this as we go through and just kind of gather everything up. So let me do that really fast. We can actually head on inside together really quickly. But getting this ladder is going to finally allow us to access all of the parts of the island we haven't yet been able to get to. So let me just pull all of this stuff out. I have exactly enough hardwood on hand already, as well as enough softwood, so we should be good to go. But I am okay with getting a little bit of excess stuff for various reasons. Let's just take a look in my pockets really quickly so that I'm not... Okay, yeah, there we go. I actually can drop turnips. You cannot put these in storage, unfortunately, but I can drop them in a place where they'll be, you know, safekeeping for the time being, so let's do that really quickly. I'm also going to put my museum entities in storage for a moment. But we can see here, okay, so I'm 13 wood short. I am also 8 iron nuggets short. I am no softwood and hardwood short, so I'm good on those. I'm 4 pieces of clay short. And I actually do want some excess iron nuggets and some excess wood so that I can make that wooden table mirror, or at least a couple of those, so that I can then go and sell those to Timmy and Tommy. So first things first, let's get some oranges really quickly. And then we'll go around and hit all the trees for more excess wood. Should be able to get plenty of that in no time. But we're going to be putting all these items in their different spots. Yes, again, you just have to check the list to see exactly which ones you need. Did I put the right amount of oranges? I sure did. Okay, so that's 9 right there. Now we can get to actually pulling out our net and just sort of checking each of the trees, especially because those might pop out. But that's a good thing because then I can get myself some extra money out of that. I do need some bells after all, so I can go get that DIY kit that they are now carrying at Nook's Cranny because that's going to help me out a fair bit for testing my DIY skills. All right, all these trees seem to be good. Okay, I'm going to go shake all the trees now on the opposite side of my house while trying not to run through any of the tulips. You're supposed to tiptoe through the tulips, actually. Not sprint, because otherwise they will break. Now, we'll worry about flowers a little bit later. I promise we will get around to discussing those at length and also making ourselves a nice little garden. There's so much that we are only just scratching the surface with, so please just bear with me. It's all going to come to fruition in due time. All right, let's get to chopping. And the more regular wood I can get, the better. If I can get up to like 2 stacks of 30, I will be happy with the wood that I have. So, in fact, that's exactly what I want to see, is as much of that coming out of these trees as possible, because I really don't need softwood and hardwood. So let's just, I don't even know what those were, so we'll just scoop all of that up. Oh, crap. I thought I shook that one, but apparently I didn't. Okay, just barely got out of that in time. Oh, man, apparently I missed one. That was a big oopsie on my part, but that's unfortunately a wasp that I'm going to miss out on for the bell value. I really would have liked to have caught that. Once again, I will reiterate, there are at least 5 wasps on a given island at any given time. Now, this actually can go up or down depending on how many trees you have on your island. If you just have an absolute excess and abundance of trees, you can even get as high as 6 or 7 wasps per day. But if you also are very stale and don't have very many trees on your island, which is not a good idea, by the way, you can have as low as 4 or even 3 per day. So something to keep in mind. Now, we don't want to use the axe at all on any of the growing trees. They are almost at where they need to be. In fact, that one right there should be giving out its full amount tomorrow. So remember that I put 10,000 bells in each of these holes. So, and that one actually too. Actually, I think, oh, wait, no, these aren't the bell trees. These are the pear trees, excuse me. I know there is a bell tree somewhere, though, that I put that was growing on the same day as that. My bad. But we will actually use those pear trees to make more pear trees in due time. Something I always like to have on any given island is actually an orchard, which has every single type of tree, or fruit type, excuse me, just kind of laid out in a row that we have access to that will periodically grow every single day. But we have a lot of work to do in regards to fruit. As for getting excess fruit, I am going to be using a couple of workarounds here. So we'll be showing off at some point my normal island that I also play with in my leisure time. And I'm actually going to use that a little bit to supplement this Let's Play. Not too much because I don't want to make this cheap or anything. I just want to use it to access some very basic things that I absolutely cannot get otherwise. This includes like certain pieces of furniture that can only be gotten through specific means. I mean, there are workarounds, but I'm just going to make things a little bit easier just for making the island look a little bit prettier. And then for getting things like fruit and such, I'm not going to use it to exploit getting any sort of insects or fish or art or any of that stuff. I will not be taking shortcuts in that regard. Don't you worry. Okay, so we got some clay there. I was actually short. Well, I guess I wasn't short, actually. Was it? Well, was I? Oh, yeah, I was short a little bit, actually, so I did need to get some more of that, but we're already only 2 away, so that's pretty good. How are we on wood right now? We are at 43, so we almost have the amount that we need, but I'm going to continue working. And how many oranges do I have right now? Okay, I literally just need 5 more. So let's continue shaking. I'll shake this one as well, just in case. You never know what's going to pop out of those. We are going to get an excess one here, but I'm actually okay with that because there is a tree that I want to move, and it's actually this guy right here because it is directly in front of Nook's Cranny, and if we're going to do that ceremony, I would rather a tree not block our view this time, so I'll eat that excess one and move that tree to a more suitable spot here in a moment, probably closer to one of these land plots if I can help it. All right, so let's get to chopping some more. I can't believe this stone axe is still intact, honestly. I used it so much already that I would have sworn it broke by now, but these things are hardy. I say just as it's about to break. Nope, okay, I was hoping I didn't jinx that, but you never frickin' know. Probably pretty soon. I do have a spare stone axe for a reason, because I've already pretty much chopped like half the trees on the island with this sucker. Oh, there it is! Right as I said it, I knew I was close. Okay, but we do have, like I said, a backup one. Oh, what's up, Rory? So, do you know about reactions? I mean, like, when you feel full of joy and your body just starts moving on its own like I'm doing now. Okay, that was kind of weird, but that's reactions for you. They're all about getting emotions across. Want to try reactions for yourself? Just hit ZR, do enough, and bam, there's your stretches for the day. I'm going to tell everyone to show you their favorite reactions, too, so be sure to ask around, Capital. Okay, Rory just helped me out there because he actually gave us access to the reaction menu. Let's take a look at this really quickly. So, there's actually a few reactions that are immediately available. We got joy, we got delight, we got some greetings, and surprise. Let's actually use that right off the bat. And you can see that we have different ways of emoting. We can wave at people, and yes, this will actually get villagers to wave back. We can clap. That will make them blush. We can get surprised, which will get them surprised in return. And I did not mean to remove that one, so let's re-register that one. There we go. But we have 4 reactions that we can choose from right off of the bat, which is pretty darn cool, and we are definitely going to be using those every so often in future. This used to be an entire mechanic that was relegated to a specific character that's no longer in Animal Crossing. They were in previous games. I think it started with Wild World. I could be wrong. I thought it was City Folk, but it might be Wild World where that whole idea began. And the character's name was Shrunk, who, I don't know, I kind of missed the guy. I thought he was, there was a lot of interesting characters that unfortunately did not return here in New Horizons because in a lot of ways, New Horizons, yes, it has a very singular idea that it expands upon quite a bit. However, as far as the more complex things and the more nuanced stuff, it's actually a lot more limited than previous Animal Crossing games. You can absolutely make the argument that New Leaf has a lot more going on in it than New Horizons for very specific types of players. For the creative types, for the ones who want to do literally whatever they want with their space when it comes to customization and all that stuff, nothing tops New Horizons. I will never dispute that. I will never argue against that. That is like almost an indisputable fact. However, there are some staples of the Animal Crossing series that are not, well, present in this game, and a lot of people kind of lamented it for that reason, and I can't necessarily disagree with them because I still look back at those old Animal Crossing games and I see a lot of merits in them and a lot of things I enjoy about those games that New Horizons doesn't really cover all that well. So with that in mind, it is... Oh, apparently I've already chopped those trees. With that in mind, it is something worth mentioning that we are missing out on a few things here, but this is also why I'm hoping in the future we will actually get around to recording other Animal Crossing games. This is hopefully just the start of not one, but many adventures to come, as I would like to, if possible, cover every single Animal Crossing game prior to this. The only two I'm a little bit hesitant on are the two handheld ones, Wild World and New Leaf. New Leaf more for accessibility reasons, and Wild World just because it's probably the most dated version, even more than the GameCube version, population growing. Just because of the fact that it is just kind of Animal Crossing light more than anything else. There are things about Wild World that were new and added to it that were not in the GameCube game, but for the most part, it's just kind of... I mean, it's kind of an ugly game to go back to, and it's just... There's a lot about it that just doesn't really feel the same, and there, in a lot of ways, it is just kind of trying to give you the full Animal Crossing experience, but it isn't quite there. I feel like you definitely get that with the GameCube, Wii version, and the 3DS version the most. So, there's my little spiel on that. Just going to continue to chop wood a little bit longer. Like I said, trying to get some excess here. I also do need to hit a few more rocks as we go, because I would like to try to get more iron nuggets. How many do I have? 8? Yep, I'm still short on exactly what I need. So let's see, where are we at on wood now? Okay, we're past 60, which is good. We're also past 60 on hardwood and softwood, also good. All of the excess is going to come in handy later. I do still have pocket space, so I am okay with this. I think I got all the rest of the ones I needed. Okay, let's actually use our one extra orange really quickly and eat that, and then I can demonstrate this. So like I said, you can break rocks with this. I have no need to do that at the moment, so I will not. The other thing you can do with these is simply dig up trees. So we can just move this thing right out of the way of Nook's Cranny, and we can actually relocate it somewhere else, which I think I'm actually going to stick it right here, sort of near the yard of this first plot. And there we go. We just plant it right back in and move on. Every time you eat fruit, you have an option to use that, but as soon as you use the power, quote unquote, it immediately goes away. If you ever want to get rid of fruit for whatever reason, but haven't used all of the ones that you've consumed yet, that is where toilets come in handy. I am not kidding. If you can get your hands on a toilet, a furniture item, those are what you're going to need to use to literally poop out the remaining fruit if you don't want to be accidentally breaking everything you hit your shovel with. So something also to keep in mind. Okay, we have another rock across the way, and we actually deleted a rock in the last episode, so I'm hoping to see if I can find it spawned somewhere else on the island. But I'll hit this one. Okay, looks like that last one's probably going to be the money rock anyway, so I'm not really in a huge rush to go find it. I mean, I do need money, but it's not, like, going to be my main source of cash, if that makes sense. I think with everything I have here, I'm mostly pretty happy, and now we can, I think, get to building. So let's head across, and let's get to DIYing all this stuff. All of this stuff. There are so many things for us to build, and we're going to just kind of put it all together. So let's head back into here. Let's craft stuff, and I don't think anything is going to be labeled new anymore, so we're going to have to really be careful here. So first things first, let's make a ladder. This will get rid of some of the excess stuff. Got ourselves a ladder. Okay. And I'm just going to look at my notes here just to make sure that I'm not missing anything. Okay, I need to make 2 wooden block toys. These are going to be necessary for a couple of the things that we're going to be building. Mainly the wooden block stereo, and then there was, like, I think a wooden block chair of some sort. So let's keep making these. I know I'm kind of low on inventory space, but as I continue to craft things, hopefully I'm able to make more space for myself. Those wooden block toys should be easily converted into the wooden block stereo, so let's do that really fast. Perfect. All right, let's keep crafting. So there goes one of our items. All right, so we also have the wooden block table. Actually, was that the one I needed? It might have been the one. Yeah, was it the wooden block table or the... Oh, no, it was just the wooden chair. Okay, wooden block table. So let's get that one next. That'll get rid of another wooden block toy. Perfect. Okay, let's keep crafting. Although I actually think I might be out of inventory space now. Or I'm close. Okay, let's try to make the orange items next, just so I can get rid of the oranges in my inventory space. So those are all right here. Okay, so we got the orange end table. Let's get that. And I think the other thing was a hanging item, if I'm not mistaken. The only thing we're still missing is our cosmos, so we'll get that in due time. We got the water pump. I'll hold off on that for a moment. Let's see here. Orange wall mounted clock. Perfect. There we go. That's a few things taken care of. And I'll kind of just be moving these items around as I go. Next up, we've got ourselves... Let's go with the... should I go with the classic pitcher? Yeah, we'll go with the classic pitcher next. Use some of our clay, but this is probably going to fill up my inventory, so I'll start dropping some things on the ground here really quickly as I just continue to work through all of this stuff. So, drop you. I also don't need these summer shells at the moment, so I should get rid of those. We can also get rid of some hardwood things, or make some hardwood things as well to get myself a little bit more space. Not you, not you. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to take this ladder and put it up here in my inventory. There we go. All right, so that's 5 more slots, soon to be 6. Let's keep going. So next, we're going to be making ourselves some garden-related things after I make this pot real quick, because this was another thing that I needed to have done. All right, let's keep crafting. Now, on to, let's see here. Okay, log garden lounge. This is where we're going to use that hardwood. So we're doing good so far. Our next one was the log stool. So let's craft that as well. And I think the faster I can get through this hardwood, the happier I will be. I'm also supposed to make all of these garden items, the natural garden chair, table, and we also have a swinging bench that I need to make. These are going to be using our iron a fair bit. So, unfortunately, we are whittling that down a bit, but I should have enough left over to go and sell some mirrors. Let's just keep crafting. Swinging bench time. Man, oh man, this ended up being another really busy day as we continue to expand our island, but 3 more villagers getting added is kind of a big deal. All right, onto the barrel. Oh, too full. Okay, so let's drop a couple of things here. As we, again, continue to make space, I'm going to have to just go and deposit most of this stuff in my my storage here soon. All right, there we go. So there is all of that. Is there anything else I need to drop? There's the wall-mounted TV, log garden lounge. Okay. Cartoonist set and the pot. All right, let's drop that as well. Cool. And I probably should be selling some things also, but we'll get around to that. All right, next up is the bird bath. Let's take care of that. I don't think I made the barrel, so I also want to make that as well. We're almost there. We also have the water pump. Let's take care of that really quickly. And then we can come back and pick up all this stuff and start decorating. Of course, we still need to make the Cosmo wreath. That is the last thing we're going to go after as we head to the upper area of this island. So, is that everything I need to make? I think it might be. We're pretty darn close. Wooden simple bed and the wooden low table. Did I need to make these ones as well? I think I did, yes. But let me just be 100% sure here really quickly as I go through everything. Okay, managed to make myself a few more things. I'm actually going to basically just spend the rest of mine on these wooden mirrors now. Right there, the wooden table mirror, and then I can get to selling some things so that I have space. But pretty much this is everything I need aside from that Cosmos wreath, so I'll have to go get that. This is where I'm going to head back, and I'm going to quickly drop some things off just so I have a little bit more space, and then we can venture up onto the cliff. So let me craft the last 2 of these that I need. I'll get to selling, and then, like I said, yeah, then we'll go make that wreath, and then we can get to decorating. So there we go. Last of those. We are now all out of iron nuggets as well as wood, so I have a lot of work to do to get myself more stuff for future DIY projects. But for the time being, this ought to do. So let's head on into Nook's Cranny really quickly, and let's see how many bells we get out of selling these things. So it's not going to be a ton, but the fact that it's still double money is going to be nice. Now, you don't need to always take advantage of a hot item, although sometimes you will have the option to do so with Nook Miles Plus. We got earn bells by selling items. I'll be able to take care of that right now. Selling fruit, getting fossils assessed, catch fish, and dive for sea creatures. Most of those will be things I'll do off screen, but there are a couple... Oh! A couple things... There will still be a couple things I'll be able to complete right off the bat. The new shop come 3 services. Okay, yeah. Turnips. Okay, Timmy, I've already explained all of this stuff, so I really don't need you to do the same thing. But we got the hot item of the day. Yeah. Okay, this is one thing I guess I didn't explain, which is the drop-off box. You can find it in front of the shop. Say you're in a hurry or the shop is closed. You can just drop off any items you want to sell. Easy, right? I'll pay you later by sending the funds directly to your bank account. And I should mention a few things. There is a handling fee, and we don't accept turnips. And hot items will sell for just their regular price. And I think that wraps it up. Sorry about that. Explanation went on for a bit. How can I help? So the drop box is something I try not to use as often as possible unless I am just trying to gorge myself on cash by fishing or catching bugs late at night. But generally, I'll just leave those on the ground somewhere to then turn them in the next day. I don't like using the drop-off box if I can help it. Convenient as it might be, the handling fee is actually quite a bit. I think you only get like 70% of this normal sell price or something along those lines. But let's get to selling. All right, so, and every Sunday he will remind you about the turnips thing, so just keep that in mind. Okay, so another wooden table mirror. Let's see, another wooden table mirror. Oh, I forgot to drop the water pump outside. That's okay. Yeah, I think those are the only things I wanted to sell, so let's see how much we get out of that. Find selection, and I will get 9,760 bells for those items. Not bad at all. So let's go grab our DIY set that I really wanted to buy really quickly, and that is the Test Your DIY Skills. That's 2,680 bells. I will buy it. Thank you. Okay, now we actually at least have a little bit of wiggle room with the amount of bells that I was able to just get. I will certainly be able to get more later on. And there we go. And we're done. I hope you enjoyed DIY even more now with your new recipes. Perfect. I've discovered a new recipe. And by that, I mean, I actually have no idea what these recipes are until we actually take a look at it. Okay, so we got ourselves... Oh, look at all these things. Okay, we got a potted ivy, mini DIY workbench. And now that's something I could put in my house. Wooden block chair, wooden block bookshelf, rocking chair, and a ring toss. Okay, I like that a lot more. This is the main reason I wanted to get it, though, was the mini DIY workbench, so I can actually put that in my home. And now I'll be able to actually craft things from inside rather than having to run over here to resident services every single time to do so for one reason or another. All right, so... And yes, I am going to be moving this workbench around a fair bit in the future. I just have it here for the time being, mainly just because I don't want to be walking inside and getting accosted by Tom Nook every single time I do so. All right, everything is on the ground there. I'm going to go drop things off in my storage. I will be right back. And to make our Cosmos wreath, we're going to need to get 3 of each color, like I said. Now, first things first, I'm going to make my way across the river here. And what we're going to do is we're going to head up onto the cliff. So let's go and explore the eastern cliffs here first. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my ladder out. So let's head on up and show how this works. All you have to do, climb up the ladder, place it, and there you go. So we're going to want to grab each of these, and we're just going to pluck them. We're not going to actually dig them up. If you want to relocate them, you can absolutely do that. I am not planning on doing that for the time being. Don't you worry, those will grow back in due time. I just want to pluck them so that I can make myself a wreath here. That is all the reds that I need. Now we just need to get some yellows and whites. But welcome to the rest of our island, everybody. We got more waterfalls up here. Here's another one of our stones, actually, as a matter of fact. And I should probably give this thing a good whack, because this is probably the one that's going to yield me some money. So I would definitely like to do that. And it looks like also the rest of the cosmos that I need are just right here. Oh, no, it's another one of these. I'm actually okay with that, though, because I did spend all of my iron nuggets. Oh, I got a gold nugget out of this one. I will happily take that. Not enough iron nuggets to make my mini DIY workbench, but I will take that. All right, to make you feel like royalty, I've got an idea for a DIY recipe. Let's take a look at what we got out of this thing. So gold nuggets are important and something that I would definitely recommend saving up on. We can get a King Tut mask, but we need 5 gold nuggets to make it. The King Tut mask is actually something I do not want to get, but it is something worth mentioning. There are actually a lot of different recipes in this game that use gold nuggets, but you want to save those. Trust me. They are very worth saving for future use because they are ridiculously rare, and you will be using them for some very high-value recipes in the future. So there's our 3 of each. We are pretty much good to go. We could explore the rest of this if we so desire. We have pretty much immediate access, but this episode has already gone really, really long. It's actually probably going to end up being the second longest episode of the Let's Play. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of leave all this be for later so we can explore it in the future. And I know there's fossil spots and there's all sorts of other various things. A lot of these are things I'm going to kind of just take care of off screen so you guys don't have to worry about it too much. You know what I'm going to do with the fossils. I'm either going to take them to Blathers. If he doesn't take them or there's something we already have, I'll just sell them. And that's pretty much it. Weeds and whatnot, I think I'll take care of all those a little bit later. But for now, we need to gather up all of our equipment here, and we need to get to placing them everywhere. So let's grab all of our furniture items, and if I absolutely have to, I will drop the clay and the iron nuggets and all of the additional stuff that I just grabbed because I need the pocket space right now. So let's see. Oh, yeah. So let me drop you. And you. And then all of those. And you as well. Okay, I'll pick up all those later. Let's grab these. And we can make ourselves that wreath here really quickly. Is that enough? Perfect. Okay, let's make the wreath. So let's craft. And then we can go to each plot and decorate them exactly how we please. So let's craft this thing really quickly. And there we go. All right. That should be everything on the list. If I missed anything, I will be a little embarrassed, but I feel like I took stock of it all pretty darn well. Let's head on over here and take a look at the first plot. Okay. Getaway package plot 1, construction box. To all construction helpers, please submit items for this building following the specified procedures. Let's check the interior items. Orange wall-mounted clock, orange end table, and pot. Let's submit all of those items. So, there we go. And luckily, it just highlights them immediately. All the required interior items are ready for this home. Now let's take a look at our exterior items. Hay bed, swinging bench, and barrel. Oh, actually, I didn't make the hay bed, but the reason I didn't make that is because it wasn't a new item, so I didn't actually check that. I forgot that there can be items that you already have. How many weeds do I have at the moment? I think I need a total of 20. Let me gather those really quickly. And rather than go consult my storage, I figured it'd be better to just go pluck the weeds by hand, and we're a lot better off. So, hay bed, barrel, and what was the last one? Was it the swinging bench? It was. Okay, so let's place these in a good spot. I think I'll put the swinging bench probably between the house and the tree if possible. So let's find that really quickly. There you are. Of course, it was the very last thing that I checked. What? No. I don't want you sideways, you stupid thing. Come on, you're supposed to be freaking facing the right way here. There we go. That's a little bit better. Okay, so we got that one there. Let's place a barrel right about here. And then while we're at it, we can also place the hay bed, I think, right behind it. So that, where did that make it at? Right here. Okay, cool. I have no idea. Is this going to be... Okay, that's backwards. I would actually like to fix that really quickly. So let's flip that around if we can. Oh, come on. Here, let me see if I can get this to frickin' twist. There we go. That's a little bit better. All right, and then pull this back. This is like always the most frustrating part of moving furniture around in this game. But that should do it. Okay, so that's it for that one. And hopefully, is it going to say we're all good? No, we don't. There's nothing we need to do. So we just checked. We've checked those. They are fine. They are all in the vicinity. Now we can move on to the next plot. Okay, house number 2. What do we got for this one? We got, let's check the interior items. It wants the wooden block stuff and the Cosmos wreath. Let's just submit all of those right off the bat. And there we go. Turn in 3 items. All right, now for the exterior items. Let's see what we got. No, I did not mean to do that again. Gosh dang it. Yeah, I know. I want to check the exterior. Okay. We got ourselves a natural garden chair, table, and the bird bath. Okay, this one's a little bit on the fancier side. So, for the natural garden stuff, let's try to put these closer to the river if possible. The natural garden table is actually quite big, so I feel like that makes the most sense. As for the chair, I think I'll stick it right about here and just kind of have it facing the table if possible. So there we go. Can we push that in any closer? Yes, we can. Okay, awesome. That's what I like to see. All right, now for the bird bath, and I think we'll just stick that on the other side here. Probably, let's see. Yeah, right about there I think is probably good. Okay, maybe just, well, actually, let's just go back a bit with that. Yeah, I like that. All right, good placement, I would say. That pretty much covers plot 2. And finally, we have plot 3. Okay, for this one, let's just immediately submit the interior items. I have all of them, wooden simple stuff, the chair, and the, what was the last one? I don't know, it was the first one I selected, the classic picture. Okay, cool. There we go. Turn in the 3 items. All required items are ready for this home. Now let's take a look at the exterior stuff, which I should have already. And it is log garden lounge, a log stool, and the water pump. Okay, so... for the log garden lounge, I think we're going to want to place this guy right about... So I did not need to make the wooden low table. That was overkill. It's always facing the exact wrong way that I want it to be facing. Come on. Right there. There we go. That's much, much better. I think I'll also put the log stool sort of right next to it if I can. There, that should probably do just fine. Beautiful. And then as for the pump... we'll stick it over on this side just to kind of have that juxtaposition over there. There we go. I like that. You can even interact with this thing, and it'll actually pump a little bit of water, which is kind of cool. All right, we are all good to go. Every single house has been set up, so let's go over and talk to Tom Nook, and then we can see about ending this episode. I know, it was a long one, but there is so much to be done here in the tutorial stages of the game. Also, I probably should pick all this crap up because I don't want to leave it on the ground, and I also don't want to forget about it. Ah, Levi, hello. How have things been going since we last spoke? Are you close to finishing the plots and furniture? Everything's finished. Goodness, really? Thank you so much for all your hard work. That means the rest is up to me. I'll get started on home construction right away so we can welcome our new island residents. I vow to get this done quickly and to get it done right. Why, if all goes well, we could have someone in a new home as soon as tomorrow. By the way, I plan on letting the island know about folks moving in or out during my island broadcasts. However, once I know who will move into a certain home, I'll post the info on the sign for that plot. If you're curious, check the signs. And that's that, my friend. You have finished everything I asked of you. Let me give you a token of my appreciation as promised. Yes, this is for you. What is this? It's some fencing. You can surround your home to create a yard or surround some flowers to make a garden. Fencing should make it easier for you to create yards or parks or other outdoor areas. I'm positive this will lead to some interesting new landscaping scenes here on Moreau. I'm thinking 50 pieces of simple wood fencing should give you an excellent start. In the future, I'll offer DIY fencing recipes you can get right by redeeming Nook Miles. The selection will change daily and will offer a variety of designs. Check the Nook Stop sometime. Well, I couldn't have done this without you, Levi, that's for certain. All right, guys, let's end this episode with one final thing. Let's hold a ceremony. Want to take part in a ceremony? Right now, we'd like to celebrate the completion of Nook's Cranny. Interested? I sure am. Splendid. Let's get started. Now then, welcome to our dedication ceremony honoring Moreau's brand new Nook's Cranny. Thank you. Moreau truly started out as a deserted island. There simply wasn't much here, but now it's slowly beginning to develop, thanks to the tireless efforts of, well, everyone, really. I'd like to ask Timmy and Tommy to say a few words as representatives of the new Nook's Cranny. Timmy, Tommy, if you would, please. Thank you, Moreau. Because of you, we've opened a proper shop. My brother and I will work hard to make it the best shop, and I hope we can count on your business. Yes, thank you both. Next, a few words from someone who made many valuable contributions towards seeing Nook's Cranny built. Yes, Moreau's very own Levi. The floor is yours, Levi. Anything to add? Good for us. Yes, indeed. Thank you for your heartfelt and encouraging sentiments there, Levi. Everyone, please get ready to join me in bringing this ceremony to a close. Also, those of you taking... Oh, yeah. Yes, well then. With hope for our continued growth and to celebrate Moreau's beautiful Nook's Cranny, hooray. Thank you all. This concludes our ceremony. Please do take care on your way home. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for this episode of a Let's Play Animal Crossing New Horizons. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it very, very much. Next time, we're going to be doing some stuff in the evening. We are going to see the fruits of our many labors with a bridge completed, house plots ready to go, and a whole host of additional things now available to us now that we can finally make our way around the entire island. We can also finally check turnip prices, see what other things we can get at Nook's Cranny, and I will hopefully have a whole lot of stuff gathered to make our job just a little bit easier in the future. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.